Again, I went to Oregon and brought home this awesome Datsun Roadster bought from this awesome man. Then I fixed the parking brake because that's kind of important. Next on my list, I have a bad habit of running out of fuel, and this gauge says the tank's full all the time, which is not good for someone with my habit. Thank you, Datsun, for this access cover. I'm not getting any continuity between these two contacts. Now here's the first problem I accidentally fixed. Normally, when a sending unit is bad, the tank shows as always empty. The reason this one shows as always full is someone had reversed the wires at the sending unit. When I swapped the wires, it went to empty. Wow, the tank looks nice and clean inside. Let's get this cover off to see how it works. So this arm sweeps across a coil of wire. The wire has a certain amount of resistance, so each revolution of the wire the arm touches increases in resistance. I can see one problem here. The cylinder the wires wrapped around looks like it may have gotten hot, swelled up, and bent. This brown stuff's actually something like a varnish that the wire's coated in as insulation, so each revolution of the coil is not making contact with the next. Let's see if I can squeeze that core back into shape. Ah, here's another problem. The wire's broken right here. I can fix the broken wire, but the core is still bent, so the arm's still going to lose contact after that bend. At this point, I'd usually replace the sending unit, but when I look it up, they're like $300 after tax and shipping. I found out it's supposed to have 10 ohms of resistance when full and 90 when empty. I've got this sending unit, I think from a Chevy truck. The resistance isn't right, but maybe I can add a resistor in parallel to adjust it. Alright, that's not going to work because the resistor throws the curve way out of whack. So never mind, back to the original unit. I'm going to desolder the wire from the connector's contact. The wire is only connected at one end. Then I'm going to remove the cylinder, see if I can make a new cylinder. There's where the wire's broken, right at the beginning. I can reuse this wire. I'm going to lose 3 or 4 inches, but that shouldn't affect it too much. Get this wire coil off. Alright, there's no way I can save this cylinder. I'm gonna have to make a new cylinder. This looks like phenolic. It's gonna have to be something like phenolic or fiberglass. So I found this broken fiberglass fishing rod. First I'm gonna get this adhesive sticker off. It's hollow instead of solid, but I think I can make it work. It's almost the same diameter, just a tad smaller. Now to make the relief cuts to accommodate the arms that hold the cylinder, or fingers I should say. I had to make this other piece that snaps onto the coil to insulate the wire coil from touching part of the sending unit. I'm drilling these holes so I can fasten the wire in so the coil doesn't unravel. feeding the wire through the hole twice to make it secure. I positioned the wire so that it never comes into contact with the fingers that hold the coil assembly onto the sending unit. Soldering one end of the wire to the wire connector's contact. This contact's insulated from the body of the sending unit. The other contact makes connection with the arm through ground. So that contact grounds out the body of the sending unit. It's losing connection right here, and I know why. There's still insulation on the wire right there, so I'm going to sand off the insulation. There we go, nice and smooth. Okay, let's set it on empty. That's not right. It's going to full. Let's switch this to full, see what happens. Yeah, it's backwards. Well, I know what happened. I soldered the wrong end of the coil wire to the contact. I was supposed to take this far end of the wire and take it across to the contact. So I'm just going to have to extend this wire to reach. Oh yeah, there we go. So repair number 2 on the Roadster is done. I'm still going to run out of gas though.